Welcome to my latest experiment. This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
What is it?
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Oh my God.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
And there is no one that does it better.
The Guy and Harley podcast, streaming all over your face.
Perhaps that was the most important part.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Pigville on the internet. It's the motherfucking boogeyman. I drop to my knees and pray that I could change my ways. I've been watching people die since I was a boy. My own life doesn't even matter to me. Imagine how I feel about yours. I'm Harley Neville. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. Ooh, yeah. It's the motherfucking macho man.
Motherfucking macho man, Randy Savage. Yeah, doing a rap.
So that was my
Guy picked it.
that was my favourite band, King 810.
I have a feeling it's possible.
No. It is possible I've done it before, but they do have another one that says, it's the motherfucking boogeyman.
So you think you've done the other boogeyman?
I think I've done the other boogeyman. If I've done that one, I've never done it with such a great performance before.
So suck a dick if you didn't like it.
So suck a dick if you didn't like it. King 810, go look them up. I've been really thrashing them. 6 months or more. So welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast. We regret to acknowledge the pause between episodes. It is only because we're so damn busy, but I would like to assure the listeners the hardy hundy of something. We'll always be here for you, okay? We'll always squeeze you in, all right? Sometimes it might not be every Sunday, but we'll do our damn best, okay? There's just a lot going on.
We'll always slip it in. You can rest assured. We'll always slip it in when we can.
Do you know, I heard about a meme on the... Well, not a meme, sorry. I heard about a sexual assault fad on the internet called stealthing. And it's and they've got forums.
I'm already laughing.
I'm already interested. They've got forums and everything on the internet for stealthing. And what it is ways for men to subtly take the condom off during intercourse without informing their partner.
Tricks of the trade.
Yeah, well, and it's a pretty horrible thing, really, that they would have a website for that. Like people do research on that. Like, what the fuck is wrong with the world? So yeah, don't stealth, people. Don't do that. Inform your partner when you're going to have unprotected sex.
Yeah.
Rude.
For all our sakes.
It's rude. So we better pick up where we... Well, actually, first things first, I just came from poetry night. Right now, I'm hot. I'm fresh off the mic. And it went really well. It was good.
It's good. No hecklers in the crowd this time?
No hecklers. I've done it twice.
You looked fearfully into the crowd for your lone heckler. Your lip quivered a little bit. Your hands trembled, and then you wiped the sweat from your brow as you just, in relief, as you could see that she wasn't there. You're like, oh, thank God, I can do this again. Yeah,
but my knees were weak and my arms were heavy, and and she was not there. The little old lady that's 22 or so, who the heckler. What did I have a name for her? I'm sure I did. She dressed like a little old lady, and I thought she was a little old lady, and she was heckling me. It turned out to be this 22-year-old girl who's a total jerk, and she put me off poetry for 6 to 8 months, because she heckled me at a slam poetry competition.
Because she sighed loudly when it came to a certain part of your poem.
No, that's not what happened.
And also because she did, and she clicked her fingers.
The click, yes, yeah.
She clicked her fingers at a certain part of your poem, and that put you off for 6 months.
No, well, so cause it's not the click of the fingers. The click of the fingers in poetry terminology means I acknowledge and agree with what you're saying, or I see what you're saying as powerful, or something like that. And
something equally gay.
And the part of my poem where she clicked on both nights was, it goes like this. It goes, now I know what you're going to say. Harley, Stop being such a dick.
And then she started clicking.
And then she starts clicking. It doesn't affect us, man. Just let people think what they think.
So
it's with regards to religion.
So essentially, she was clicking, suggesting,
stop being a dick.
Stop being
you
such
atheist.
a dick. She heavily agreed with that part of the poem.
You disgusting atheist. You people shouldn't be able to procreate. Fucking.
So we've been away. And I can't help but think back to the time where it was a Tuesday night, last Tuesday, and I was like, shall we do it? And you're like, nah, not feeling it.
Look, for once, Guy bloody is the one where I'm the one who's like, nah, I can't do it. For once. Generally speaking, it's the other way around. And last Tuesday, well, look,
that fateful night.
Let me just, be honest with the listeners for a second.
Okay.
Because I've had let's set up the situation. I just came from poetry. I have had a few drinks. It's late on Tuesday night. Guy's having his first fireball as we speak.
Yeah.
I'm certainly have had a lot more than four. Or one.
If you want to gauge how drunk he is, there's an indication.
And so, look, I've been feeling a bit blue because my girlfriend's on the other side of the world, right? And so last Tuesday, I wasn't in the zone. I wasn't feeling like it. I was feeling blue, and Guy was like, do you want to get the podcast out because it's really our only chance because I'm going to be busy on da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, well, no. Oh, no. How do you do the Eeyore voice?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, just picture Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. That was me last Tuesday.
Yeah, and what's the other problem with that is that's upsetting the balance of the podcast because I am the morose and depressed one while you are the
buoyant.
Yeah, that's me, Harley.
The Nibs.
The Nibs. Nibs got a funny story for you. I've got some laughs for you.
Hey, check out what's happening with my ass.
So, if you are the depressed one, there's just going to be two depressed people talking, and it's probably not going to be so great.
Well, that's the thing. Every now and then you got to show your versatility, Guy.
That's true.
You're going to have to be the happy one, and I'll be the sad one. Look, without getting into too many details, I do suspect there are some low episodes coming. Okay, guys? My career's going great. Lots of things are going great. Some things are not going as great. We'll get into it when the time comes, okay?
But if you had to make some predictions, there could be some low episodes.
There could be some low episodes on the horizon. That's all I'm saying, okay? So yeah. That's where we're at.
Okay. Well, what else has been going on?
Well, mate, I've got so many fucking notes here. It's actually ridiculous.
Well, I'm looking at your notes, right?
Yeah.
There's over 30 notes.
There's over 30
notes being like one note is a topic.
Yep,
so
exactly.
You've got over 30 topics there.
I've got over 30 topics, and that's not counting old ones that we never got to. This is like my new batch of shit we've never got to. So anyway, look, we'll do our damn best. So we better pick up from the birthday, right? Because last episode was on the eve of my birthday, and we said to everybody, if you'd like to buy me beers for my birthday, you totally can. So I better shout out to a couple of people.
The beer buyers.
The beer buyers. Jeremy Howson, thank you very much, mate. He bought me a couple of birthday beers, which Guy and I went and enjoyed the very next night on my birthday. And then Charles Black. Charles Black gave me a very sizable and generous PayPal donation to buy booze with. Now, we haven't done that just yet. We're drinking Fireball that Guy scabbed up from somewhere. But next episode, I'm going to buy some booze.
Donated.
In Charles Black's honor. The great thing about Charles Black is that he's a YouTube listener, right? So that makes it all worthwhile because every week I put together these fucking YouTube videos which are potentially hurting our channel because every time we upload them, we lose a few subscribers.
And get a few... get more... dislikes than likes on.
That's not true of the latest ones. The latest one had like 15 likes and 0 dislikes.
Take that,
and
trolls.
I was only about 7 of those likes.
Yeah. So
that's over my various accounts and my work account and your account, which I had the password for. And so yes. Anyway, Charles Black bought us that. He's a YouTube listener, and that's kind of great because it makes it all worthwhile. So thank you very much, Charles. That is a big deal. We also better shout out all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much. But we did get another one this week, which was Immi from Immi The Vegan. She is officially a supporter.
Coughed up some cash. I'm surprised. I'm shocked.
She's really...
Because the thing is, she can talk to us in real life, so she doesn't,
need to listen to this fucking show.
Exactly. She doesn't have to pay any money to do that. She could just literally talk to us and hear this shit any old time.
Yeah, and we did have some other ones as well, which I will shout out in the next week's episode because I did not put them in my notes. But thank you so much, guys. We are currently up to $52 per month on Patreon. Now, that might not sound like much, but keep in mind that our insurance for gear is $90 New Zealand a month. So we're actually not that far off reaching our insurance goals, paying our insurance goals, which you said that you would like to get rid of that expense. Now, we also better shout out the lovely sponsor of this show.
Oh, yes. And
the company behind it.
Okay, well, now I've got to remember the name of the company.
Dogwise. You are the worst boyfriend in the world.
Well, yeah, I knew it was dog something.
Well, obviously, she trains dogs. Terrible. She's like, yeah, he's got a company, Cowville. He makes movies. So Dogwise. So this podcast is proudly brought to you by Dogwise. Now,
Canine Services.
They will train your dog, and that's all thanks to Guy's lovely girlfriend Shani, who is sponsoring the monthly fee for this very podcast.
So thank you very much to my girlfriend and Dogwise Canine Services. Now you can find them on Facebook if you look up Dogwise. They do a course. So primarily, she is a dog trainer, qualified dog trainer, university degree. You can get a degree in dog training.
I didn't know that.
Me neither, but it's all true.
We're all learning together.
And so essentially, you can get a 1 hour one-on-one session for $99, which is cheaper than any other dog training classes around, or 4 weeks starter class for $160. And she's currently taking bookings. The best way is to get on the Facebook and message her, or you can email dogwisenz@gmail.com. So if you have an unruly dog, if you have a young puppy...
Stop beating it.
Stop beating it.
And get it some dog training.
And teach it.
We'll all be happier. Everyone will be happier. Now, I will, of course, post the Dogwise Facebook page on the Guy and Harley podcast Facebook page. So all that information will be there if you just go facebook.com/Guy and Harley.
But this is our first official sponsor. If you would like to sponsor something on the Guy and Harley podcast,
the beers, for example,
you can. You just need to have a chat with us. But Pigville is proudly brought to you by Dogwise, and she's an amazing trainer. She does a great job and very reasonable rates. So if you have a dog that needs training, get on down and she'll help you out.
Cool. So the next night we went, after the last podcast, we went out for drinks with Ellen George and Ben Fowler from Sideways Productions, and basically Guy was like, in the last episode, Guy said, "Hey, do you want to go out for a beer on your birthday after 10 p.m. when I get back from wrestling or whatever it was?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So we went out that next night, and it was meant to be literally a beer, just Guy and I, no plan. And then, as it happened, we met up with Ben Fowler and Alan George, and we talked shop for a bit. And then we came back here and
talked shit for a bit.
And then somebody threw up, somebody who will remain anonymous, threw up in my soup pot, which I use for cooking soup.
Yeah.
And
well, they first initially threw up in their hand.
In their hand, they caught it. Now, we don't know, we're not going to say which one of the 4 people in the room it was.
Yeah.
It could have been Ben, it could have been Alan, could have been Guy, could have been Harley. But somebody threw up in their hand, and it was a sticky kind of gelatinous substance in the hand, and it was black because we'd been drinking black Sambuca, and it was black. And so I rushed as soon as I could, and I grabbed the first thing I could find, which was this big, beautiful, heavy pot that belongs to our flatmate, and she really loves it, Lauren, and I use it for cooking soup. And then he threw up in it, and he didn't just throw up once; he like half filled that.
He really filled up that bowl.
Yeah,
He really filled it up.
And then, the worst part is I didn't clean it afterwards. I tipped it out, but then I just left it beside him, so he could go to sleep on our couch.
Yeah.
And he just went home. he being possibly me or Guy, and
whoever this
hypothetical person was, and then so the worst part was in the morning it had all caked onto the sides and stuff onto Lauren's poor old pot, and she wasn't really that happy about it, you know.
No.
It was one of those flat life situations.
It's one of those flatting faux pas.
Yeah.
Leaving the dried vomit of your friends or yourself to mature and harden
on the pot
in a cooking bowl.
Well, it was annoying for me too, because I did the following week cook some soup in it, and soup looks a lot like vomit. Let's cut the shit. And coincidentally, this person, whoever it was, possibly me, came around to buy a DVD from myself, and
possibly out of regret and shame, and as a way to smooth things over.
And so he came around and bought. He or I came around and bought a guy bought a DVD, which was awesome. And thank you very much, me. And it just happened to be that I was cooking a massive soup at the time. In that very, very pot. So it was just quite a coincidence
and you
there.
both shared a look like good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
So it was quite funny.
Well, look, I've never seen someone their skin go quite that shade.
He was green. He or you were possibly so green.
Yeah, it was like it was all like the Simpsons almost, like a Simpsons-y yellowy green. Yeah. Like a real, like, wouldn't believe a person's face could be that colour.
That green.
But that's where it went. That's what happened. It was actually because that was kind of like he or you or I had just been chatting, and then we kind of threw it over to this person, and we kind of finally sort of studied them, and they were green, and we were like, whoa, you're right there, mate. And no sooner had we been like, oh, you're right there, mate, the vomit went into the hand, and then obviously the pot came in to run interference on that one.
Yeah. So that was good. That was good fun. I did have a nice night though. So thank you to you guys, Ellen and Ben, for having a nice night with me on my birthday. It was very good. Now we also had an issue last episode about alliteration and assonance, where we didn't know which was which and what it was when you had two words that started with the same letter. And I said Immi will know, and Immi has commented. Alliteration is when it's two words in the same, starting with the same letter.
Right.
So the commencement of two or more words of a word group with the same letter. For example, Hairy Harley. That's alliteration.
Terrific titties.
Terrific. You got it, kid. Assonance. Rhyme in which the same vowel sounds are used with different consonants, such as Harley sees green peas when he sneezes. This is important. Now, then she comments, this is important stuff when you're a poet, Harley. The English basics, the third form English is important. It's quite important. So yeah.
Less important if you're a writer, because they got a little thing called spell check,
and that one that corrects your grammar as well.
That's true. So I'm kind of safer, I feel. But I guess you've got those things too. But I don't know. As a poet, I imagine you sitting under a tree, going old school, writing it on your notepad.
It's me sitting on my iPhone, wanking under a tree, or something.
Okay, what's next? What have we got next? Well, I can tell. I got something.
All right, go.
So
I'll just take time out from my 30 ideas, and you go.
And I can share one.
You share one.
Perhaps you share one. So I opened up the Uber files just quickly because we were just talking about vomit, and I had my first serious vomit. I had my first 2 serious vomiting incidents. Now I've been Ubering for about a year now, and I've had people pull over and throw up. I've had people throw up out the window a couple of times, but I never really had the vomit in the car. Never really experienced that. Now, I got a little taste of it last week where someone did vomit a little bit in the car, but then managed to vomit the rest out the window. And that was very displeasing for me at the time. I was not happy about just that little bit of vomit.
Yeah, now when that happened, you got some extra money.
I did, because they charge a certain amount of money. So the first time wasn't so bad. They charged $80. I didn't.
So Uber charges the drunk passenger $80 for the cleanup fee, and you just got to send them some photos.
And that wasn't too bad because I didn't spend $80 on fixing it, so it was more a punishment for a crime. But it didn't really affect me. It only affected me in that I had to stop for about maybe an hour to clean it up myself, what was in the car. But then we roll round to this Friday night, which is the first night I start Ubering. I normally do Friday, Saturday nights. And right at the beginning of my shift, I happened, unfortunately, to start a little bit later in the evening. So I'd been going from about 8:30. I'd just done one drive, and then I was coming to pick up 3 people. Now, one of these people was sitting on the ground, head bent into her legs, sort of looking in a pretty bad state.
Yeah, and you were like, I'm going to pick that person up.
And I was like, the thing is, you see lots of these kind of things. People stumble into your cab all the time. People fall asleep in your car. You know, people do lots of stuff.
What do you do if they're like? Have you ever had someone that's like sound asleep, and you've actually had to like really shove them?
I've had to
like,
wake them. I had to give them a firm shake.
Have you ever had to like help somebody out of the car?
I've never had to help someone out of the car, but I would have the prior week. There was someone super drunk who was super obnoxious, and
not the gay rapist.
No, not the gay rapist. But
that made me laugh when I listened to that last episode, the hairy ballerina, the gay rapist in your Uber. Genius.
But this guy was borderline, like his girlfriend was helping him, and he was borderline abusing her.
Right.
And I was just kind of like, look, this ain't my problem, but this guy she's got a lot of tolerance to be putting up with this shit from this guy.
Well, look, my hat's off to all those women that can put up with those drunk, obnoxious, violent
a-holes,
jerks that they fall in love with.
So anyway, this girl, she looks like she's a bit of a state, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But she gets in my car, and probably about 2 minutes into the drive, and also, I'd like to add, so this is my second drive of the night. It's not even a long drive. It's a super short drive. And I hear in the back, and yep, she's thrown up. She doesn't even have the window open. Another, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. She's not even got the window open. She's not even trying.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? She was so drunk, she was pretty incoherent. And and so I opened her window. She then attempted to throw up out the window, but more just threw up onto the door.
Electric,
in the crack of the window and down onto the door.
Into the glass.
Where is impossible to get.
Yeah.
Impossible to get out. And basically was just vomiting, and I was like, oh, fucking come on. And they're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll pay for it, was the first thing they said. And I was like, the thing is, you're not going to pay for it because I've just started my shift, and now this is the end of my shift. And you guys are not going to pay for the amount of money that I'm going to lose right now. And they're like, just forget about it. We'll pay for it. And I was like, yeah, but that's bullshit, isn't it? You can't pay for it. You know, you're going to get a fine for the cleaning, which does nothing. And they're like, and that's when these people, these horrible, horrible people.
Now, can you describe these people for me?
Yeah, so 2 girls.
Okay. Women, I think.
In their early 20s, I guess. And an Indian dude who was
2 girls and an Indian dude
of the same age.
So it was 2 girls, a guy, and an Uber driver.
Yeah. And that's when they turned on me. They're like, just shut the fuck up. I was like,
well, but it's because they think of you as the servant.
I know. And I was like, excuse me? And they're like, just shut the fuck up, man. Just shut the fuck up. Stop fucking complaining. Just shut the fuck up. Don't be a dick and take her home. Stop being a fucking dick, man. And they weren't just saying it. They were literally shouting this at me while the other girl, the drunk girl, who in between vomits was going, I'll pay for it. And I was like, hold up. I can just drop you off right here. You're in my car.
So wait, you were driving at this time
Yes.
with just vomit all around, ankle deep at her fucking
Yes,
feet.
yeah.
Yeah. So why didn't you pull over like immediately as soon as you heard the first?
Because I was sort of like, I was driving along the sort of motorway section.
Right.
So it was kind of hard to pull over. I wasn't in the lane where I could really pull over either. But like, as they were yelling abuse at me, I was like, look, I can fucking pull over right now. I don't need you abusing me in my car while your fucking mate vomits all over the fucking place. And then the guy was like, oh, hey, let's all just chill out, guys. Hey, let's all just chill out. No, we know it's not your fault, mate. We know it's not your fault. And I was like, we know it's not my... What the...
Of course it's not your fault.
Not my fault.
Mate fucking threw up.
Fucking asshole. And so anyway, long story short, continued to vomit. I did drop her off home. And I drove back to drop them off to the place they wanted. I could have just dropped them all there, but I took them back to wherever they're going. And the guy was like, oh, look, how much is the Uber fine? $150. Okay, I'll give you $50 as well. That'll make up for it. And I was like, not really, but whatever. Of course, what ultimately happened is because I told Uber that I got the $50, they only charged him $100. So that didn't happen at all. He didn't lose any money. He only paid the fine that he was always going to pay.
Yeah.
But to add insult to injury after all of this, the vomit took me about, I don't know, good half an hour, 45 minutes to clean up myself. Then I had to call in a special cleaning company to shampoo my...
Special puke cleaning company.
To shampoo, vacuum, and basically deodorize my car. Which I couldn't do that night, obviously. And then I had to wait for this to dry. So the whole process took two days. 2 days for it to be. And $150, 2 days. Anyway, to add insult to injury, these people... After fucking abusing me, and I never abused them. Like, I never was like, you fucking motherfuckers. Like, I never, like, got...
Lost your temper.
Yeah, I did lose my temper.
Okay. Well, let's elaborate on that. When they were shouting, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
You
just shanked a bitch.
My voice raised, and I was like, hang on a fucking second. You're telling me to shut the fuck up while your friend, so my voice was raised, but I didn't actually abuse them. I was being abused.
You just spoke loudly and aggressively to them.
I was being abused, and I said they can get out of my car if they're going to continue to abuse me.
You skank bitches.
I didn't say. Look, I would have loved to have said that if I knew I was going to get a complaint.
Yeah,
might as well
earn it, right?
Exactly. But the fact is, basically, these people have cost me 2 days worth of earnings. They fucked up my car. They, to me, have kind of gotten away scot-free. Yes, they had to pay $150. Whipped his shit. And yet I pay for it both.
What's your total estimated loss?
Loss of earnings?
Loss of earnings combined with the
cleaning bill?
With the cleaning bill, and then you got to take away the $150 they gave you. How much out are you?
Oh, how much out? Probably $400.
From one vomit. Well,
from one giant
passenger.
Vomit.
Yeah.
One special vomit.
So it was about $550 for all up. It would be the expense, but they gave you $150.
Yes.
And a warning.
Yes. Yeah. So, but it just exposes the hypocrisy of Uber, because essentially, I took someone somewhere. They're super drunk. They fucked up my car. They talked disparagingly to me.
Yeah.
And then they complained about me, and then I got a warning for it. And it's like, do you not think the copious amounts of vomit in my car, these giant puddles of vomit, these photos I sent you, that these people aren't maybe the most reliable
witnesses to the crime?
To the crime that they committed? Do you think that maybe... I don't know, this Uber driver with this 4.8 star rating, who's done over 500 5-star trips and has an impeccable record.
Over 500 5-star trips?
Yeah, that's true. 559 by the last count. But do you think maybe out of these two people, he might not be the abusive asshole that they've made him out to be?
Yeah.
Because of the double irony of this is they were like... we've had a complaint of some serious, misconduct or something like that. If you want to know more details, please reply.
Yeah, motherfucker, I want to reply.
So I replied, and I was like, yes, I'd love to know some more details. Here's exactly what happened. And then I went in to explain what happened. And they were like, due to the Privacy Act, we can't give you any more details. But just be aware of Uber's guidelines. And it's like, so you can't even tell me what I've done. This system is so fucked. This system is so broken because it's essentially just some drunk people's word against the sober Uber drivers. And the Uber driver's the one getting shat on.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant. Brilliant company. Amazing to work for. I couldn't be happier.
Well, this podcast is going to get you fired one day.
I don't know. Maybe.
Probably. Might happen. Depends how big this podcast gets, really.
Well, look, it's a classic Herald article kind of
story,
espousing the terrors of
being an
Uber,
Uber driver.
and also like the mediocrity of, like someone in America gets a complaint from someone that was, super intoxicated and vomited all over someone's car. And that person then this person from America then gives the Uber driver that drove them a warning.
Yeah.
But there's no research.
I don't understand the America bit of that, but...
because the Uber messages aren't from people over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I assumed there was a local office.
No, the local office doesn't handle...
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's stupid and weird.
Yeah.
But in America, they charge $250 if you throw up in the Uber.
Well, that would...
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I just happen to know that information.
Well, no, look, that makes a lot more sense because that is almost, minus cleaning, at least there's some compensation for the time that you lose.
Yeah.
But moving on, close up the Uber files.
Good. All right. So the next... well, actually, I caught an Uber tonight. I caught two, but I caught one tonight. Fucking showed up outside the fucking house. Two-way street. Here we are in our new fucking house. This fucking guy shows up in his Uber, right? Facing the wrong way, okay? Again, I live on a dead-end street, okay? It's not the same dead-end street, but it's still a dead-end street, okay? So this fucking guy, he's facing the wrong way. I go, all right, g'day, mate. Now jump in. He's got plenty of room to turn around, lots of driveways. What does he do? He drives to the bottom of the fucking hill of the street we're on and turns around at the bottom and then drives all the way back fucking up.
Well, look, I have to criticize his driving to the bottom.
Whoa, of course you do.
Well, no, because the street we're on, there's no reason, is
That he can't fucking turn around.
was absolutely fine for him to pull up
Same
and
as
pick,
my previous fucking street.
no, he's completely in his rights to be parked the other way to
But he's
begin
got to turn
with.
around right there.
But then he should turn around right there because there's no reason to go right to the bottom of the street. There's nothing going on down there.
No.
There's no even particularly more room to turn down the bottom there, really.
All right. So look, let's not get into a fist fight.
Yeah, let's not, you fucking asshole, Uber fucking passenger. You be the guy that vomited all in my car and then, I'd like to complain about it.
Yeah, I'll vomit in your car, then give you 1 star.
Well, no,
That's how I fucking roll.
They definitely gave me 1 star.
Yeah, of course they did.
But what the issue was...
No paper bags in the car. 1 star.
Damn.
No puke bags. 1 star.
No
for you.
windows in the car. 1 star.
So, look, okay, let's move on though, because we do have a lot to get through actually. Now, after the birthday, okay, the next big thing I can think of, there was other things that happened, I'm sure, but the next big thing I can think of, actually, no, I'd like to just...
significant life event.
There was various significant life events, but I'd just like to say my birthday did go well, and I got a good haul of prezzies this year. Here's what I got. I got a cool vest and wife beater, which is what we call a singlet, or what you Americans call a tank top.
I don't think it is.
They do. They call it a tank top, a singlet. They go, oh, he's the guy wearing a tank top. For me, a tank top is like above your belly button.
Yes.
For Americans, it's just a singlet.
Right.
And for people from Dunedin, it's a wife beater. So, got a good haul of prezzies this year. Cool vest and wife beater, plus a bottle of Sambuca from my lovely girlfriend over in LA. I got 2 lollipops from her sister.
Ended up on the pot.
Ended up on the pot. Yeah, all the Sambuca ended up in that pot.
Sambuca ended up in the pot.
I got two lollipops from her sister, a badass drone from my mum. Thanks, mum. A drone with a camera on it. I have flown it, but I need to take it to the park to have a good fly on it.
So it does have a camera?
It's got a camera, yep.
So
you can expect to see that hovering outside your window. Discreetly.
You can expect that hovering by your windows, ladies.
But the thing is, it's only got battery for like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
like,
about enough time.
Well, I can't quite come in that time.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, of course, a couple of times. But it's difficult to pilot a drone and
yeah, of course,
at the same time.
It's too many things.
So it might be a 2-man job, actually, mate.
So I'm going to have to pilot this drone.
or do the wanking. It's up to you. It's up to you, really.
I guess I have to think long and hard about that choice.
So, all right. So I also got drone from my mum, a bottle of Fireball from Sam Hurley. Now, Sam Hurley he has a podcast called Nerd versus Noob. And I will, as a noob, like video game terminology.
They know what that means.
All right. Nerd versus noob. Well, I didn't want them to think I was saying nerd versus nude.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did an interview on their podcast.
Fucking noob.
And he gave me a bottle of Fireball for that, which was awesome. So thank you very much, Sam. And that podcast will be out soon, Nerd versus Noob. I'll post it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. I got a bottle of Kahlua from your girlfriend, Shani. Thank you, Shani.
Inappropriate.
Why?
Inappropriate.
Inappropriate?
Inappropriate purchase of your boyfriend's friend.
Well, no, that's bullshit. If you got a present from my girlfriend, I wouldn't think it was inappropriate.
Well,
on your birthday.
Maybe a lollipop or something, not a bloody bottle of Kahlua.
Oh, it's outrageous.
But
she's a generous soul.
Too generous.
A lovely woman.
Too generous.
And I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, Shani. And I only actually just finished that tonight before I went to poetry. Now, I also got a couple of buds from somebody who will remain unnamed. I got a cool
couple of flowers.
I got a cool eco store pack with all sorts of goodies, good for lathering up my balls, from Paulette Edzer and Hannah Martin. Filthy 50 listener Jeremy Housen shouted me some beers via PayPal, and Charles Blake gave me that generous deposit. And I also got a coconut egg from my gym and an Export Gold branded towel from the dude at the liquor store. So that was quite a fucking haul. So thank you very much.
Jim feeds you up on fucking chockies.
Yeah, well, it's coconut egg. It was coconut. It did have some chocolate on it. It was not bad.
Oh, yeah. What's next?
Oh, Jesus. It's all about the news.
Well,
okay.
you got a fucking
I also got a VIP ticket to the Neil deGrasse Tyson meet and greet. So all official, announcing it publicly. I'm going to be meeting and greeting Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Your personal hero.
Now, I got that from my dad. He bought that for me, so thank you very much, Dad. I'm pretty excited. That's next month or the month after. I'm meeting and greeting Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm going to bust out my rap. I'm going to say to him. So when it comes to question time, I'm going to be like, my dick's a light year long, spaghettification, but your black hole's my destination. I was attracted by your big ass gravitation, and I came so quick like time dilation. My balls have reached their infinite mass. I'm gonna fill up your Marineris crevasse and get yourself checked, cause panspermia can pass. I give the gift of life. It's been living in my pants. And we'll just see what he thinks of that.
Well, you should record his reaction.
Probably should. So if anybody's got any good questions,
you should go, Mr.
Tyson, sir.
Mr. Tyson, I've
written a rap up for you.
I've prepared a science rap for you. I would just love to have your feedback on it, and then just go into that.
Yeah.
Well, you got nothing else to do.
Well, to be honest, if I just had my cell phone in my shirt pocket facing him, because I'm on the second row, it's a VIP meet and greet situation, right?
Harley, I'm not sure about this rap. You sound like a fucking asshole.
You sound like a fucking asshole and potentially racist. What makes you think my hole is black? So anyway, I'll be doing that. So I could record them from my cell phone if I just had it in my pocket. That could be a viral sensation waiting to happen.
You might as well.
Yeah,
like I said, like this man that knows the secrets of the universe, he's hardly going to impress him by some fucking idle chit chat. May as well just bust out a science rap and see what happens.
Well, that's a very good point, Guy, because what am I supposed to ask the guy? I'm going to meet one of my heroes, okay? And what am I going to say? I don't want to say to him, hey man, I really liked Cosmos. It was such a great series. I
like the cartoon enlightening stuff.
No, well, I wouldn't say that. But
I like the cartoon depictions of history.
So I wouldn't, what else do you say? And then I could ask him if my existence has any effect on VY Canis Majoris, the largest star known to exist, the largest star we've discovered. It's a long way away from here and very ridiculously gigantic. And I did have this question. I wondered if my matter were to instantly disappear from this universe somehow, would it, in some negligible but still true way, affect VY Canis Majoris? Is it like a butterfly effect in the universe? If you were to magically take away some matter from this universe, regardless of size, would it have a knock-on effect onto the rest of the universe? And so, therefore, would my lack of existence or existence have any effect on VY Canis Majoris, no matter how negligible?
It would just be wonderful. He just goes, Harley.
No.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want to talk about science shit. I've just been doing that for 2 hours. I thought you had a question and we could relate to each other as human beings.
I'm picturing this as a end of session question where it's like you can put your hand up and ask a question in front of the audience, So not so much the meet and greet. At the meet and greet, I'll be like, hey, Bo, want to burn some trees? And he'll be like, sure do, Harley. That's a terrible Neil deGrasse Tyson. He does
smoking weed.
That's not. That's terrible as well. That's not a good impression.
That was a soundbite of his.
We inserted that. Now last week we also talked about panties and how I caught our flatmate walking around in her panties one night. And now Paula Edzer said she listened and she said that she thinks it's creepy that she was concerned that I was so excited about seeing my flatmate in her panties.
I think the word she's looking for is titillated.
I think aroused, and so she said that was concerning that I was so excited. And she said, "What's up with how men call panties? They're knickers. Women call them knickers." And now look, I'm going to tell you something right now, listeners and Paulette. Knickers is what little girls wear. Knickers is what prepubescent children wear, okay? Now, panties is what women wear, and panties are sexy, and that's why you would never tell a little girl, go get your panties. It'd be weird, okay? So, so panties is for women, knickers is for children. And that's why men find the word panties sexier than the word knickers. So that's my answer to that, Paulie.
I agree, or at least, I guess, underwear, right?
Well, underwear. Oh, yeah, baby. I want you to slowly remove your underwear.
Well, for starters, you're sexualizing it, which is the point that she was making is that you shouldn't be doing that.
No, the point was just that we're using the word panties instead of the word knickers.
Yeah, and sexualizing it in a creepy way.
No, I just said I saw a flatmate in her panties.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying you were.
I didn't say anything else. Jesus.
But yes, I feel that's pretty accurate, but I also feel you can say underwear. Okay,
I had another situation. I missed out on a role, which was absolutely my fault. I dropped the ball. So there are these movers and shakers, these young filmmakers from the Ponsonby area, as far as I'm aware, these movers and shakers traveling in these, as far as I'm aware, trendy, well-to-do circles of Ponsonby, and I got a message from a guy saying, "Hey, do you want to?" Logan Marshall, his name is. He's a filmmaker, and he was like, "Do you want a role in a film, a lead role?" And I was like, and I looked at his Facebook, and he's this. I'd never met him before, and he's this very young guy. He looked like he was like 18 or something like that. I think he's actually in his early 20s, but and I sort of looked at it, and I had a really big day that day. We were doing a DVD signing, which we'll get into soon, and so I said to him, "Oh, look, I'm really flat out that day. Thanks so much for the opportunity, but I'm sorry I can't do it." And then I ruminated for a little while, and I messaged him and I said, "Oh, can you send me through some of your stuff?" So he sent me through some of his stuff. Now I had assumed he was going to be bad because he was so young, but then I saw his stuff and it was all really good, and I really liked that, and I was like, "Oh, okay, well actually, and so I went back with my hat in my hand and I said, "Logan, do you think maybe I could take that role? Actually, I'm sure I could squeeze you in." And and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I've given that away. I've actually, I had to make the decision today, so you missed out, son. Bad luck." And so yeah, I didn't get it, and I really dropped the ball on that one. But he did write me in another role, which is still in it, a supporting role. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
What's the name of that?
The name of it.
Yeah, the name of the film that you're gonna be in. The name. The title of the film.
Well, maybe it's still got a working title. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
boy.
You know, like, I don't know, guys. I don't know,
boy,
guys. You know,
Jesus
look, the
Christ.
fact of the matter is, like, I can't, I'm in so many of these things. I don't,
That was terrible.
Now, look, so the next night, anyway, we filmed it, and it went really well, and it was all improv. Right now, this is interesting because we were talking in one of the previous episodes, possibly the last episode, about how improv is this made-up thing, where we are actually, in reality, you pre-write things. For example, Wineglass and Wikipedia and Wineglass University. It's something that you pre-write, you store in your brain, and you use it when you need it.
Yeah.
And so this role was all improv, sitting in a car, talking to an Uber driver, and just discussing things and making things up as we went, kind of thing, following a theme, which was interesting and great experience for me because I haven't really worked like that before. But the next night, I was halfway through a documentary about the Wehrmacht and their disastrous defeat in Stalingrad in 1942. Well, it was started late 1942. It was actually early to mid 1943 by the time they were actually defeated there. But
oh boy!
But he called me up anyway. I was halfway through my Wehrmacht documentary, and he sounded like his puppy had died. And he was like, "Hey, Harley," and it was like 9 p.m. at night, and I was like, "Oh, hey man, what's up?" And he was like, "I was like, how's it going?" And he was like, "Well, not so good actually." And I was thinking, fuck, am I going to have to pick this kid up from the bus station or something? What's going on?
He lost his fucking pocket money.
Why is he calling me?
He lost his pocket money.
Honestly, why is he calling me? I was like, what's going on? Why does he sound so sad?
Has he run out of data on his mobile phone?
Can't afford he can't call the
no
Uber.
access to the internet.
You can't get the Uber. And he was like, hey man, we've lost the sound card. Oh no, sorry, we didn't lose the sound card. They lost the sound files. All right. Can we reshoot? And luckily, as it happened, I had the night off, so I reshot it the very next night. Now, for the record, Logan, we're not judging. Guy lost the entire
What sort of
card.
a fucking idiot loses all the sound on a day? What sort of a fucking dropkick? You call yourself a filmmaker?
Don't lose the sound.
Jesus Christ, buddy. That's like fucking elementary school filmmaking. Don't lose the fucking sound.
So Guy, or
I lost the sound once.
He completely lost.
I lost the sound once.
But Guy didn't just lose it like it didn't. Somebody fucked up and didn't transfer the audio. It's physically lost. At a certain point, the card at some point fell out of somebody's pocket somewhere. That somebody, as far as we know, is Guy, and was just lost. And then it was for a massive day of this big wedding scene in Older, and it was literally the biggest day of the entire shoot.
15 pages of script.
Yep, all done in one day, and we got in trouble with the location. We had all these issues.
Pay out money to the location to appease them.
I was struggling to get all the extras and still didn't get as many as I wanted, but it was like a real grind to get as many as we had, and the guy lost the audio. So Logan, don't feel so bad, mate.
So Logan,
your puppy's not dead.
We all fuck up sometimes. And in filmmaking, more times than we'd like to admit.
So I guess we better next talk about... this is really a catch-up episode, guys. It's a total catch-up episode. We're talking about shit from, we really catch-up episode. Now, the nude photos would certainly be the next topic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we had a DVD signing where we were selling our DVD, I Survived a Zombie Holocaust, which is available internationally, but if you want a personalized signed copy, you can get it from us by going facebook.com/ISAZH. Facebook.com/ISAZH. And you can get your own copy. We'll sign it for you and we'll post it to you worldwide. Now, what we were doing was we were doing a DVD signing at a record store called Real Groovy. Thank you very much, Real Groovy. And we were selling these DVDs. And so I thought, as a way to promote the the signing, we should do a nude photo shoot in order to create some promotional posters of Guy and I completely naked, but holding the DVD of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust over each other's genitals in order to
reveal our genitals to the world.
And in order to promote the signing, right?
Because we've got nothing on but the DVD.
You get it, right?
The focus becomes the DVD.
Yes.
Because that's the only thing we have.
Got it.
The DVD.
Yeah. So we did that.
We did do that.
We did do that, and we released a little cheeky vlog about it, and we've got another one coming, a more in-depth, proper one coming very soon. And overall, it went very, very well, I think. And Chloe Loves, that's not her real name, but Chloe Loves, she did the photography for us, and she did a great job. And we can't name where the shoot was because we might get in trouble, but it did go very well. But there was quite a funny moment, I thought, where we were absolutely butt naked except for our cock socks. It was you, me, and Chloe in a studio, and absolutely naked except for our cock socks. I had a multicolored one. You had a black one.
Keep it classy.
Once you go black, you never go back. You know, it makes it look bigger or something. That's what I read somewhere.
The sophisticated gentleman with the black cock sock.
Mine was a multicolored tube sock,
rainbow tube sock.
But I did have to. They're called happy socks, and I did. It was an extra happy sock, that one. And so we did the shoot, and it went great. And Chloe did a great job. But sort of towards the end, there was a bit of a situation. There had been a miscommunication with the owner, and it turned out we couldn't film there. We'd hoped to film there as well to do a vlog. Turned out we couldn't. But the funny part of the situation was that I was standing there absolutely butt naked except for my cock sock, and he was there fully clothed in a business in the daytime on a Tuesday saying, this is inappropriate. You can't film here. And I was like, I was trying to make a legitimate and genuine apology to him. And I was like, I'm very sorry, sir. It's, that was my fault. I did organize the videographer. I'm absolutely sorry about that, sir. But I literally was standing there naked with my hairy shoulders and a multicolored cock sock just covering my balls and penis.
Very hard to take seriously.
A little bit, yeah. It was hard to picture me as a legitimate businessman.
Well, the interesting thing about that whole fucking debacle was, we took some good nudes.
We did.
Those nudes, Chloe made us look good. She did a bloody good job at concealing our fatness and, our, hideous blemishes. So bloody top job.
Well done.
On the same token, so we released this photo, viral sensation.
Yeah, it did go very well. If you guys want to see it,
290 likes or something, but who's counting? Not me. 292 likes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something around that. I didn't count exactly. I just knew it was a lot of likes, 292. But that's just a rough estimate, of course. And all these people commenting, a couple people calling out my chicken legs, which I felt was unfair.
Your pasty white chicken legs.
I felt that was quite unfair. Number one, everyone's like, tell Guy, this is the fucking favourite, wasn't it?
Tell Guy to stop skipping leg
and
day.
It's like, you motherfuckers, I don't skip leg day. Let's just make this very fucking clear right now.
My chicken legs are genetic,
exactly.
okay?
This is genetics. And also, you walk around using your legs all the time. So apparently you have to, I can't remember, some weird statistic, but you have to exert 12 times as much force as you normally do on your legs
to stress them
enough to
muscle.
grow because you're on your feet all the time. So it's fucking difficult, all right, guys, and I'm trying. I didn't appreciate the chicken legs, okay? Appreciate it, all right?
Okay. About that, I would say, have they given you any insecurities now? Did that nude shoot leave you with any lasting insecurities?
Well, no, but yes, it's because to a degree, I'm like, well, fuck.
I thought my legs were jacked.
I was like, my legs are, I wouldn't say jacked, but I would say they're fine. They're doing fine. Apparently, they're not doing fine. So apparently, I do actually have to work way harder on leg day, and I was not fucking slacking. All right, I was doing my fucking squats. Okay, guys. So anyway, so we had this whole thing. Let's ignore the chicken legs for a second. Let's ignore pasty white chicken legs, which is probably what the name of this fucking podcast is going to be. It's probably what the podcast is going to be called now. But let's just fucking throw all that out for a second. And so 290 likes, fucking 50 something comments, but who's counting? Not me.
It'd be more than both of those.
But anyway, we get all this stuff, and it's like, it's great, it's a hit, it's huge. We're a viral sensation. Great times.
Hang on. You're going to get into DVD set.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hang on. Let's just go back to the pictures for a
So
second.
translate this to... I'm talking about translation here from marketing stunt and fucking Facebook likes to fucking reality.
Well,
And it's grim.
It's not grim. It's great. The reality, the effect of this has been excellent. Now, hang on, look, but before we move on to sales and so forth, let's just talk about chicken legs. No, because I also got a comment about me from Nicholas Wade Kimps, who's a Facebook friend. Well, he's a Facebook friend. He's a beer lover, and he commented saying that I have a dad bod.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, that's not on, okay? I'm putting myself out there, guys. We're both putting ourselves out there.
Well,
we don't want to hear dad bods and chicken legs. We want to hear you have a lovely smile, Harley, and Guy, your biceps are beautiful.
Well,
you've got to concentrate on the positive.
The funny thing is, like, people fucking throw out the dad bod comment all over the fucking show. People have Hollywood has created an unfair expectation of what men have to live up to now. Okay, guys, we can't all be fucking Wolverine, all right? We can't all be Hugh Jackman fucking eating fucking 5 chicken breasts a day and some broccoli. We've got to fucking live in the real world and have a beer and a fireball whiskey from time to time. But the disturbing thing about all of that, those dad bod comments, is like, we're in the best shape that we've been in like a real long time.
Yeah, I've been working out quite a lot.
Like,
lately.
you've been working out extensively. So have I. I've been training super hard for my pro wrestling debut. So, I'm in it, man. I'm in the gym like 4 or 5 times a week. No fucking joke. And this is all we could get? Dad bod and chicken legs?
Yeah.
Fuck you all.
You motherfucker. Now, look, just as an aside, right, I do actually have some feedback about hairiness, because in the last episode, the hairy ballerina, episode 98, the hairy ballerina.
Just said how disgusting it was.
How disgusting.
Abhorrent.
And abhorrent. That's how disgusting you said they were. Now, I got feedback about my hairy body today on YouTube from a YouTube user behind the blue eye. Now, it's a woman.
Okay.
All right. It's not behind the brown eye.
And it's not a catfishing gay guy.
No. It's, we don't know.
Yeah, but
it absolutely could be. But look, okay, this is a feedback from a woman called Behind the Blue Eye, referring to my hairy body and what you had to say about it and how disgusting I was. She says, it's not uncomfortable at all, and it's not disgusting. How sick I am of men being ashamed and being shamed because of their hairy bodies. You are a really good-looking man, and so is your hairy body. It's actually become difficult for us women to find hairy and masculine men these days. Don't shave your bodies, guys. This shaving madness among men has to stop. Well, you know what, Behind the Blue Eye? You fucking hit the nail on the head, my friend. And I will not shave again unless I'm going somewhere hot. Or
end up being single.
I'm single. If I'm single, I'm not single. But if I'm, it doesn't make a difference. It absolutely doesn't make a difference. Are you
telling me that if you meet a super new hot babe
and she's like, shave your shoulders, I'm gonna be like, no.
No. She doesn't say that. You've seen the disparity between your looks and her looks, and you are not going to take into account the possibility of a pre-shave.
First things first, I am not single.
I'm talking hypotheticals.
In a relationship.
I'm talking hypotheticals here.
Okay. Secondly, if I were to be single, I have reached a stage in my life where I am
given up.
To just accept for me.
Like me for me.
Right? And it's
not because you're bad like Dirty Harry or
me?
make her laugh just like Jim Carrey.
I do all of that. But I also allow them to rub their fingers through put their fingers through my shoulder hair.
Do you want to share the story of the girl with the hairy fetish that you once hooked up with?
Girl with what? Whoa, Jesus, mate! You have to refresh my memory. I do. The funny thing was, at the DVD signing, there was a woman that was like, She saw our pictures because we took the pictures, right? We went to the DVD signing. We took the pictures. We literally hung them up like quite big size photos of us naked at the desk. And this one lady came up, and she was an older woman, and she was like, she looked at the picture and she's like, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Yep." And she was like, "Oh, I used to have a hairy boyfriend once." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And she was like, "Yeah, you could rub your hands through it." And she was like, "It was really nice." and I was like, "Oh, good.
Would you like to buy a DVD?
She bought a DVD. She actually bought one.
Yeah, I must have tuned out.
You must have, but I was quite happy with that. So look, there is an undercurrent of women out there that are attracted to hairy men. They do exist. Now, what was this hairy? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm pretty sure you met a girl who was literally. This had never happened before, and it probably
was this like in our Wellington days?
Yeah, and it will never happen since.
Mm-hmm.
Before or since, it'll never happen. But it did happen this one time where you bumped into this girl. You bumped into her, right?
Bumped into
multiple
her
times. But anyway, she was like real. What I'm looking for, beguiled. Perhaps by your hair, and she's like, "Whoa, shit, you're so hairy. Yeah, I've got to rub my hands all over this." And you were like, yeah, cool. Most people find this disgusting. And that's basically that was the story.
No. Look, I think what you're thinking of is that we met a girl at the races who I never slept with. We met a girl at the races in Wellington.
No, you definitely slept with this
I
one.
did. If it's the girl, well, I don't remember. I never recall meeting a woman that actually likes hairy men.
I know, it's alarming, but I recall the story because it was such a, what's the word? Outlier.
It was such a weird and perverted thing to happen.
Exactly. So it stuck in my head. I was like,
I'm not sure. I remember
I could never get my head around that.
Well, look, we'll have to delve deeper into the memory archives.
Unfortunately, Facebook wasn't around back then, really.
Yeah, well, it was still kind of there.
It's in its infancy. It was MySpace and Bebo's where you'll find this girl.
True. So look,
Bebo archives.
This nude shoot, right? I made them so before the nude shoot, I was smart. Guy was not. Now, Guy was smart in the sense that he worked out and didn't drink anything, drink any water or anything that day. And me, I actually had like 4 schlubby days and then like didn't do anything. I went to the gym for like 12 minutes. Approximately that morning.
Quick 12 minutes.
I just went along. I did like 4 sets of 12 of 4 exercises or whatever.
You exerted exactly
3 sets of 12 of 4 exercises.
You exerted exactly the same amount of energy as you do when you go for a beat.
Yeah. Which I had already done, so I was up. I was in credit as far as calories are concerned.
24 minutes, really, if you think about it.
If you think about it. So anyway, I didn't really prep for it. But one thing I did do, which was smart, was they shaved the old pubicles before the nude shoot. I was like, well, I better trim these down because I learned my lesson on Zombie Holocaust, which I did trim it down on Zombie Holocaust and it was fine. But, I'm really glad I thought to trim it, because, on Zombie Holocaust, I was like, well, you're wearing literally a sock. And if you've got a full bush going on,
full on.
It's just it's a talking point, and you don't really want talking points when you're naked. And so I was like,
not those kind of talking points.
And so I did trim on Zombie Holocaust, and for this I used that experience and I trimmed for this. So yeah, I trimmed the old pubicles, but I did make the mistake of trimming my balls before I trimmed my mustache. Yeah. With the same clipper, and so I ended up having to shave my upper lip with this like bally smelling, like clippers that I've got. Yeah. Which was definitely a sort of a rookie move, basically.
Yeah, you always go mustache first.
Yeah.
And then give the ball smell time to evaporate.
Yeah.
Between the next time you have to use them.
So at the signing, right, the first thing that happened was this guy comes up, and he was the very first person, and he did not whip out his copy of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust. He did not buy a copy of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust. He whipped out his copy of Second Hand Wedding. And apparently, he had been there since 3 p.m. Now, we started signing at 4:30 p.m. So this guy had shown up an hour and a half before we were meant to be there with his personal copy of Secondhand Wedding, which I had a supporting role in.
Casing the joint.
In order to get me to sign Secondhand Wedding and then his own personal copy of Zombie Holocaust. So thank you very much for buying that. His name is Zane. So thank you.
Thank you, Zane.
And so yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy. Showed up with a crazy cool. He showed up with a Secondhand Wedding DVD. That shows that he did some research, right? Before, when he heard about it, and we weren't Facebook friends, when he heard about it, he Googled me in some way, or Googled the production, and then figured out what other movies that I had been in,
and then bought
that DVD with him.
Unfortunately, Ghost TV was not on the menu.
He does not have a copy of Ghost TV.
As a true completionist, Zane, you need to... I don't think you can get a DVD copy of Ghost TV.
I've got one, and I'll sell it for the right price, but but otherwise...
The right price being like anything over $1.
No, that's bullshit. It's a limited edition, mate. I'll sell it signed.
Well, it's super limited edition because it was made by the guy that directed it, and when he burned a DVD of it and gave it to you.
No. Maybe, I don't know.
Definitely.
And so, anyway, there are some limited edition. They are out there. Like, he did sell some of this movie Ghost TV, which I acted in.
Some poor unsuspecting.
Was the first feature film I acted in, and it's out there.
Poor unsuspecting sons of bitches.
I think you can actually find it, to be honest, on YouTube if you look up YouTube and you look up a TV show called a feature film called Ghost TV. So look up Ghost TV Harley Neville. You can find it, and if you're lucky, I might share it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley.
That classic.
And another thing that was funny was
that oft remembered classic.
Another thing that was funny was, so we got a couple of zombies, right? We got two zombies. We got Hannah Martin and Bevan Reed, and they both did excellent jobs, and I sincerely believe they were responsible for like
all the sales,
pretty much.
Apart from Zane,
there was like a couple of sales. Zane didn't buy anything.
Exactly.
So there was like there was a couple of sales that were through our friends, Immi, Paulette. Thank you very much, guys. You guys both bought DVDs, but everybody else, all the other sales were like
how many? Let's
9.
Let's cut the shit here.
All right, let's
just be fucking real for a second. 290 likes, 50-something comments, Facebook blowing up.
We got naked for you.
We fucking extensive photo shoot posing in ridiculous nude positions. For what? For 9 DVD sales, 2 of which were our friends, or 3 of which were our friends.
Not sure.
Either way, that is not a great social media to actual tangible profit sales translation. No, it's terrible.
Okay, well, look, I actually disagree. You and I were at the venue for an hour and a half, and in that time we sold 9 DVDs.
Yeah.
Right? That's $180.
That were
$20 each.
So we sold 3 to our friends. We sold.
I think it was only 2, but
the other 7 to people that had been coerced by a hot zombie,
Bevan,
a sexy zombie,
Bevan,
to purchase, and felt because that basically they've been enamored by this hot zombie, and they're like, well, I've got to buy one because of the hot zombie. Come on.
Firstly, you're way too negative, okay? We nurtured 7 super fans that night, possibly more, because we met people and we talked to them, and they bought our DVD and we had a chat, and they now have met us in real life.
Hopefully fans for life.
They will hopefully look us up on Facebook and so on. So that's what nurturing super fans is actually all about.
I'm just talking about the Facebook too.
Okay, the ratio. But another thing to keep in mind is that everybody on my Facebook, because let's be honest, my Facebook is the main place where we're getting people to the event, right? Now, everybody on my Facebook that would buy a DVD has already bought a DVD. Right. Like
We've
Jeremy Howson.
Spammed the shit out of
Exactly, we have for 2 years or something. Like since it came out. It came out in May 2015, right? It's like knocking on 2 years ago, and it is 2 years ago. It's been 2 years. We've been spamming the shit out of us for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so of course, most of my friends that would buy it have already bought it, right? So these 7 new people were brand new people. We were there for an hour and a half. We made $180 or so. Now, minus expenses, which is Real Groovy take a cut, of course, and we have to buy the DVDs. That's expensive. The pens.
Let's not forget the pens really blew out our budget on this one.
They did. The pens cost
autograph pens. We thought we'd be autographing so many of these DVDs.
We needed to buy some pens.
We're going to wear out of our pens. We would have been fine with one pen.
No. We needed 2 different colours. That was the trick. We needed 2 different colours so that your signature and my signature look different because it looks better.
All right.
So we needed 2 different colours. So anyway, that came to like $21, right?
The pen budget came to $21.
So the pens them alone came to $21. Okay, that's not counting the stock, which is the actual DVDs themselves, which we have to buy, and the work associated with me ordering the DVDs and all that stuff, right? If you were to pay me for my time, you'd absolutely be losing money, and then on top of that, of course, Real Groove is a business; they're going to take a cut, of course, and that makes total sense, right? So they're taking their cut. Everyone's expenses, and in the end. I reckon we probably made somewhere in the vicinity of $80 or so for the hour and a half between the two of us. Now, that's more than you get as a Uber driver, Your Majesty.
Especially when someone vomits in my car.
Exactly, Your Majesty. So calm your farm, and then me as well. An hour and a half, probably don't get.
Oh no, an hour and a half. Yeah,
exactly.
I'd get $40 an hour and a half.
Would you?
On a good hour and a half for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, look, so you did it. Well, in that case, you did an hour and a half for your hourly wage. Just an hour and a half less Ubering you need to do that week.
Which I need because of the vomiting.
Exactly. So, I've had enough of your shit.
I just think it's funny. I mean, how many people said they're attending the event? 40 plus?
That's the thing. It was 40 people said attending and 50 more said interested. So we're talking about 90 people or so had expressed some form of interest.
Try 3.
We got 3. Well, we got a few more than 3, but some of them had already bought the DVD. So we couldn't really, we couldn't sell them another DVD, but they showed up to support, which was awesome. Maddie Z, his name is, one of my colleagues, he showed up, and Robbie McGregor, he showed up. These people, he showed up, and just to show support. Solidarity, which I also appreciate. But so we did get a few more in, but that's not direct sales.
No, look, it's a classic. It does really seem like a classic David Brent Life on the Road, where he becomes a touring musician, and there 4 people are going to his shows. And that was kind of us that day.
No way. It was awesome. I had a great time. I sincerely had a good time. I really enjoyed connecting with these sort of 7 or... Well, it was more than 7. It was 7 sales, right? But that's not all we connected with. Zane was not a sale, for example.
I enjoyed connecting with the hot zombie.
You've got a girlfirlfriend. You're officially in trouble.
I'm only joking.
You're officially in trouble.
Shani knows I'm joking.
Yeah, she knows you're joking. Yeah, all right. He's officially in trouble. Now, look. We did back to the zombies. They did do a very good job. Bevan and Hannah did an amazing job. And what was quite funny was Bevan was the crazy comic kind of one who he was clearly having a great time and loved it, and directly pushed sales to the somewhat almost physically pushed sales towards the counter, which was awesome. And then the other one was Hannah, who did an amazing job. Now, what was funny about Hannah was that there were these kind of vulnerable young
impressionable young males.
Well, when we say young, they weren't necessarily, they were 30, but these impressionable males sort of hanging around by themselves at the record store, and here comes this actress, this sexy zombie, essentially,
this hot zombie,
coming along and ushering them towards us. And it was just kind of funny. They never stood a chance.
Of course not.
They never stood a chance. Those lonely video store nerds, record store nerds never stood a chance.
Sorry, rephrase. Record store nerds, not video store nerds.
Yeah,
that's
same
better.
thing, right? Same thing, right? It's all obsolete.
But so that was cool. No, it was a good time, but I just did the correlation for me. It was not working for me.
No, I was absolutely fine with it. I was actually very happy with it. In all honesty,
we didn't reach your goal, Harley.
my goal of 10.
Yeah.
I did set a goal of 10, but 9, I'm still happy with 9, and it looked great on social media as well, which is also very important. It looked like a resounding success.
It's all about the lie that you perpetuate on Facebook about your life, people.
It is, especially in this industry. Now, it was quite funny though, because somebody approached approached Hannah, our hot zombie, and said, should we take you to women's refuge? Are you okay? Do you need a ride? Are you okay? Because she was sort of a little beaten up and stuff. And somebody else said, when they bought a DVD from us, they said, I thought there was this drugged up girl just walking around the store. And I was like, yeah, I guess we didn't calculate. We didn't really think about that.
Well, there's the problem now is like basically zombies who don't have contacts but do have like sores and wounds.
Yeah, just
also
look like people that have the shit kicked out of them.
Look like pee addicts. And so, whereas before, that was acceptable, now you class a zombie as someone with contacts in. So it's a little confusing for people.
Yeah.
But
now,
anyway.
I really should have notified our sales agent Vendetta about that whole thing, really. I didn't really think about it, but they might have helped promote it.
Yep.
They might have been like, oh, DVD signing at JB Hi-Fi. Oh, sorry, at Real Groovy. Yeah, we can absolutely get behind that. We're going to move more stock. Why not? But for some reason, it just didn't occur to me. Probably because I'm quite a shit producer.
What else?
Jeremy Howson he's started brewing beer, and I suggested, and I think I sincerely am going to start advocating for this. I think that his brand name for beer should be Lube, because you can crack open a cold bottle of lube.
Maybe you should call it social lube.
Well, what about Well, that's good too, because that's that whole thing. You got to lubricate the evening, and then but like you can be like slide into the evening with a cold bottle of lube.
Yeah, that really sounds wrong.
Well, that's the point. It's a marketing gimmick.
I get it, but it's sounding like it's literally lube.
Yeah. Well, but you'll be alright. You'll see it on the edge of a beer bottle.
You'll see it on a beer bottle.
Yeah, and you'll be like,
and you'll be like, so cool. You're gonna shove the beer bottle up your ass. I get it.
Well, look,
I get it.
If you were really smart, Jeremy, you would also make the beer bottles dick-shaped.
And have all the chavvy bros that you're hoping to sell to sipping on dicks.
Sipping on large cocks. Cock-shaped bottles of lube.
Both cupping and sipping on dicks.
Make the bottom of the... See, the problem is you don't want to spend too much money on the design of the glass, but if you could somehow get balls at the bottom of the glass as well, that would really sort of sell the illusion.
Yeah, that's really a terrible idea.
Okay, let's just leave it with the name for now. We don't have to make the bottles cock-shaped, okay? We can just make it cracked open a cold bottle of lube for the evening. Now, another thing that's happened...
Yeah.
Unless you got a story, do you want to...
Well, I think we should transition to Immi the Vegan.
Okay, what happened? Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Immi the Depression.
Right,
that is currently setting in.
Yeah, which we worked very hard on. Immi the Vegan. Listeners will know we worked very hard to create a new web series pilot for this new web series initiative called New Blood, and we worked very hard and we created this brand new concept along with Immi, of course, who got pissy, I might add, because apparently last episode we talked about how much work we put into Immi the Vegan and didn't
mention how much work she put in.
Exactly. But it's like, fuck, man, we can't shout you out every time. Jesus, the listeners don't care that much.
For fuck's sake, we can't shout you out directly from a thing that you created.
Well, not every time, and we all co-created it, and so. But anyway, Immi the Vegan we got rejected.
Yeah, so
it did not make it.
We were entering into the New Blood series. Had high hopes. Those hopes were dashed against the rocks, and our ship was run aground until it sunk into the water, never to be heard from again.
All you could see left was flotsam and jetsam.
And the dead bodies of those that drowned
dreams.
With it.
The dead bodies of our dreams. So
bobbing, bloated to the surface, but motionless.
Yeah, bloated corpses, all that remains of our dreams as they bobbed morosely in the waves.
So that's basically what happened. But again,
Now, we'll just
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, for me, it wasn't okay. I think that Immi had very high hopes for it. I had high hopes for it, obviously, but I guess, like, as an actor, right? Every time you go to an audition, anytime you as a filmmaker, anytime you submit for funding, you reach a certain stage in your life where you're like, man, I absolutely cannot think about this stuff constantly anymore. When we first got our first big opportunity, and when I had my first audition, I was like, oh wow, oh shit, if I get this, it's going to change my life. And imagine if we got $100,000 to shoot a website, And then nowadays it's like I've been rejected for 99.5% of my career, So you kind of just you submit and then you spray and walk away.
As the Asian man said to his girlfriend after finishing on her.
That also is a New Zealand ad reference. It's not just a sex thing, but that is quite funny.
But look, what gets me. I said it before. I said it again. Not even being in the conversation.
Okay, but so there was 160.
Fuck 160.
There was
submissions.
more than, according to the generic rejection email, there was more than 160 pilots submitted.
But do you realize
we don't know yet?
Retarded.
Yeah, of course, there'll be so many shit ones. I absolutely know that. But there'll also be a lot of really good ones that do apply. And at the end of the day, currently we don't know how many finalists there are. So if there's 2 finalists from more than 160 applicants, I'm okay with not making the shortlist. If there's 20 finalists from 160 applicants, well, I'm a fly into a fucking rage.
Well, I'm going to fly into a fucking... It all is dependent on this for me. The quality of the finalists. If I watch those finalists and I feel like I've been smoked, then I'll walk away. My head held low and hunched over, incredibly depressed that I'm not at their level.
But you'll accept it.
But I'll accept it. But if I think that even one of those is not on par with ours, I'm going to be seeing red. I'm going to be in fits. I'm going to be throwing little tanties around the flat and just muttering to myself and complaining because... like I said, I wasn't saying, hey, we're going to win this thing, but to me...
To get in the finals at least, right?
Same with the short film. Just get in the finals. Get in the fucking finals. Get in the fucking conversation. Or fuck everything. Just fuck everything. So very disappointed. Well, it's very disappointing about
the filmmaking life,
That's the filmmaking biz, man. That's the way it goes. So.
Well, we didn't get it, but I sincerely don't believe it was in any way, shape, or form a waste of time. I feel like we did some great networking on it, some great work on it, and it still has the potential to go somewhere in the future. And in fact, I used it today to email a producer to show him kind of what we're capable of creating for a small budget. And
didn't send him through the project.
I didn't send them through the project, our web series from 10 years ago. No, I didn't send them that. Despite the viral sensation that it is.
Didn't send them through the project in the 4:3 aspect ratio.
Immi started watching that, and I'm pretty sure she told me she just stopped. And she was like, yeah, I watched some of that. Maybe it wasn't Immi, it might have been, but somebody definitely told me they started watching it, and then they're like, yeah, I started watching that, and that was it. They weren't like, it was good, or I finished watching it, or anything like that. Just watched a few episodes. Abruptly stopped.
Well, speaking of web series, just give a quick shout out to an excellent web series that I have recently seen. It's called Pussy.
I love Pussy.
But it's not spelt pussy, it's just pronounced pussy.
Oh.
So just to make
spelt
things...
pussy.
It's spelt...
It's actually about infections, and it's called Pussy.
It's spelt P-S-U-S-Y. Now, I would say that the spelling is perhaps a mistake, just because it took me a while to find it, because I knew that it was called Pussy, but I could not...
Yeah.
I was not spelling it that way.
Yeah. So you're just frantically Googling pussy, and in between your extreme masturbation sessions, you realize that you couldn't find it.
Exactly. Exactly. So they're working on season 2 at the moment, but season 1...
Where are they shooting this?
It's an Auckland series.
Auckland, okay.
And in fact...
So should I hit up these directors and
absolutely. Look, if you can get cast on that, that'll be my new favourite thing. Because these guys, girls...
I'll tell them that.
And it's by... I hope I'm getting her name right. Jaya Beach Robertson. That's, I believe, her name. Okay. I hope I'm getting that right. But anyway, it's just a really funny web series. They're short episodes. It's not too long. It's very unique and original in a way that all New Zealand web series aren't. So they're just doing a fucking awesome job. And like, I rewatched the series to get the taste of some other New Zealand web series out of my mouth, which I found quite unpalatable. And then I watched this and I was like, there's hope out there for the future.
Okay.
But it's very extreme, like it's not it's not for everyone, but I love that it's original, it's unique. It portrays women not as these beautiful, I guess, not in the traditional Hollywood way, that's for sure. We'll say that. But very, very funny, very well done, great acting, great performances, and great writing. So
cool. Well,
I'm
definitely going to message them.
Oh, you should. 100%. Like, I would love. I honestly thought about messaging myself and saying, "Hey, I love your web series. If you ever need help on collaborating, like on something, I'd love to do it, but I just can't do that." Because I just don't that's me making false promises, basically. But if there was any people that I'd love to attach myself to in the industry, it'd be these girls or this girl, because she's doing an amazing job.
All right, well, I'll tell them you said that. Speaking of Hollywood, I acted in a short film recently, my big break. I was a 3-day shoot.
Wasn't the zombie film your big break?
Well, my second big break. As in the zombie film was a big break, as in it broke my will.
Yep, and spirit.
And now this is and this film's my big break, as in it's going to give me a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's directed by a guy, Stephen Baker, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. I've actually got wrap drinks tomorrow night. Pretty excited about that. Did 3 days on this film. It was quite a big deal.
The hardest part for you
was waking up early.
Yes,
yeah,
that was the biggest challenge. Your biggest acting challenge was simply meeting your alarm clock in the morning.
I had to. If
you could overcome that,
so I had to be on set at 6:45 a.m., but it was about a 45-minute drive. But when I say drive, I mean I drive a motorbike, and this is at the New Zealand winter, coming into winter, and it's it's dark at that time of day, and it's way out in the country, out in the mountains, up a dirt road. So it was actually quite a challenging ride. So especially for me as a motorbike rider with not a huge amount of experience, I've been riding for somewhere between 2 and 3 years, and my bike is not really designed for this type of off-roading kind of shit. It's a highway, it's a cruiser. It's the type of bike you use on the highway just for cruising around.
It's a poser's motorbike.
No, it's for cruising on the highway, not fucking doing dirt track racing. Fucking up the dirt track. It's not for up the dirt track, man.
Jokes.
And so
you were wondering,
it was quite difficult because I was doing these big long days on set out in the rain, and it was pissing down, but I still in the morning I had to drive 45 minutes to get there and 45 minutes back on the motorbike. So you got an hour and a half of really difficult travel on top of all the acting. But it did go very well, and it was a great shoot. And I was one of the 3. There was only 3 characters in it, and I was one of them. And it was a massive crew. I was really shocked and stunned when I saw the call sheet. I was like, "Fuck, this is serious. This is really serious. This is a big thing." There was
this is a real film.
This is a real film.
I'm not used to this.
This is not a Pigville production.
I'm not really used to this.
This is not me and my mates. This is there was heaps of people involved, and I was right at the center of it, and I was fucking pretty happy about that. It was cute. I asked Angie. I was talking to Angie, and I said to her, over WhatsApp, I said, "Oh yeah, so I saw the call sheet and it's really exciting. There's 200 people, and guess who's right in the middle of all of that? Right there at the center of it all." And she goes, "The Nevs?"
The Nevs, baby.
It's the Nevs. And then, so I was like, that's right, baby. But yes, anyway, the shoot went great, and I was acting across from Carly Baker, who is, as mentioned in one of the previous episodes, this Hollywood actress, who's been flown over specifically for this role. And yeah, it was really good. It went very, very well. And I'm kind of really hoping that if this whole Hollywood thing works out for me, that she might be one of my connections.
You've still got a bit of intel to do on that one. Like, where the hell did all the money come from?
Yeah, well,
you need to do some digging on that.
Yeah, well, I'll dig tomorrow night at the at the rap drinks.
Alrighty,
diggity.
What else we got?
Well, look, we better wrap it up. We are knocking on our time limit, and so I guess I do have various other things. We were mentioned in The Talking Dead briefly. Did you listen?
Nah.
So I thought The Talking Dead.
So The Talking Dead. Let's not get these two things confused. There's a TV show on AMC called The Talking Dead, which airs after The Walking Dead, which is incredibly popular and hosted by Chris Hardwick of The Nerdist. And basically, if we were on that, we would be blowing up right now.
Yeah.
We're not on it.
We're
on Talking Dead, the podcast, which is just two guys which stole the name The Talking Dead, but it's actually a podcast. It's quite clever marketing in the sense that
how
people
many likes do they have and all that?
What? The Talking Dead?
Yeah, the
which
podcast. One? The one that we got mentioned on.
Oh, I don't know.
Are they popular? They seem very popular.
Look, I'm not saying they're not popular. They're just not the true Talking Dead popular.
Right.
So I just don't want people to be thinking like we're on the actual Talking Dead.
Okay, well, look, here's what I'm saying. We're on the actual Talking Dead. It's a podcast, and I shared it on the Guy and Harley podcast page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. We're at 4 minutes and 27 seconds. So go along and check it out. They do mention us, however briefly, and it's still very, very, very good for us. And that was all because
what do they say?
Well, they just say, so Anwin, who worked on the film, contacted them and they were giving away a prize pack. It's quite a big, I think it seems like quite a big prize pack that they're giving away. And amongst the prize pack was a copy of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust to give away. Yeah. And so they mention there's in this podcast, in this giveaway, there's this, that, the other thing, and a copy of I Survived a Zombie Holocaust thanks to Anwin from New Zealand. So thank you, Anwin. And yeah, that's awesome. So we do get mentioned on another podcast, and I have shared it on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Guy and Harley, so go check it out. Now, I do actually have literally like 20 more notes here, but
we only got through 10 of your 20 topics, 30 topics,
basically. And I've been speaking slightly quieter tonight because I'm worried about our flatmates. It's 1 a.m. So look, we will end it here. Sorry about the delay. We do love you, and thank you so much to our Patreon supporters in particular. If you would like to support us, you can go facebook.com. Just go facebook.com/Guy and Harley. I did that last week, and all the information's there. But if you want to find us on Patreon, search Pigville. If you want to find us on YouTube, search Pigville and the number 2. If you want to find me on Facebook, search Harley Neville. And we are going to be increasing our merchandising and stuff like that. We've had quite a lot of requests for posters for I Survived a Zombie Holocaust. We've got some posters. They're just extremely limited edition because we didn't print them ourselves. So when it comes time to actually sell them, we've got to figure out what the right price is plus P&P for a signed poster when we've got literally like 20 of them or something, right?
Probably 30.
30. Okay, so we've got 30, but that's fine. Like, honestly, that we can't afford to print these ourselves. So when it comes to merchandising, when these ones are gone, we would have to end up selling the posters for about $100 each if we had to print them ourselves, which seems like a lot to me. So we've got them for free now, so they're going to be a lot cheaper than that. But who knows? After they're gone, is what I'm saying. But I did have a great idea, Guy. Our new images, right? Our new sexy nude images. We've got to start selling our business cards. My new business card, I got a new business card printed, which was a Guy and I naked on my business card. So I gave out business cards today to a producer. It was quite funny, and I've been giving them out on sets heaps, and it's just Guy and I naked. And so anyway, what I was thinking is the issue with merchandising is that it costs a lot of money to post this shit to people, particularly internationally. I charge $10 P&P on a DVD. But in reality, it costs about 16 New Zealand dollars P&P. So that $6 just comes out of the profit from the DVD. So when I sell a DVD, if I sell it domestically, we make more money than internationally, but simply because of that P&P. So I've got my pricing wrong. But anyway, what I was thinking is we sell these business cards as collectible items, just the card by itself, signed by you and me with some promotional information on the back, and every fifth one, we'll spray it with Harley's perfume.
So you hear that, guys?
$10 each.
If you ever wanted
plus P&P
to purchase a card with two
naked dudes on
guys with dad bods and one with chicken legs. If that is something that you think,
and every fifth one smells like one of their colognes,
and every fifth one smells like Harley's balls, then
I could rub it on my balls. That'd be way cheaper than cologne. In all seriousness, that would be cheaper than the cologne, because I'll go through a lot of cologne if I'm selling a lot of them. I'll just be like, every fifth one has been rubbed on Harley's testicles. Authentic ball sweat.
But, if that sounds like a worthwhile thing to part with somebody, that's Harley's latest and greatest
publicity scheme.
Get rich quick scheme.
No. I am actually thinking about doing this, but the thing is, I'm in the process of setting up a merch store, so it won't be just yet. But when it happens.
Also, I'd just like to add one final quick update.
Okay.
My girlfriend, and when I say my girlfriend, I mean my ex-girlfriend, thrice removed. So that's 3 girlfriends away from my current girlfriend.
Right.
We did mention that she had defriended me out of the blue on Facebook.
Yeah. Did you get in trouble for that with your current girlfriend?
No, she was like, "Ah."
She was like, what an understanding
poor
girl.
loser. Your ex-girlfriends don't like you, huh? No. Anyway, my ex-girlfriend, thrice removed, I mentioned that she defriended me. It could hurt my feelings. She's now de-Instagrammed me. She's cut off all...
You told us that last week.
No, I told that to you. I didn't tell it to our listeners. So she's de-Instagrammed me now. So she's now cut off all communications, all social interactions, all everything. Such a horrible taste in her mouth. So disgusted. She's just got to separate church and state, and boom, he's gone. I'm out of her life. I'm going to hold on to that for a while, and I will confront her when I randomly bump into her. I'm going to confront her about it.
I don't think you should.
I'm going to give you the update.
Okay, I like that bit. I like the update.
Why do you think I shouldn't?
Well, it's just a silly idea.
It's silly in the sense that I'm going to make an awkward situation
between you and the ex thrice removed, and also you and your current girlfriend. It's just generally an all-round bad idea.
No, but
it's just like
just want to know.
No, here's all you need to know: you're her ex-boyfriend, and she doesn't need you in her life anymore. She's married.
She's not married.
Well, she's with a dude. And
she owns a house with someone.
Okay,
that's not the same thing.
It's just not something that you're no longer really . I could go through and delete most of my exes, and it would be a shame because I like to keep an eye on. I like to keep tabs on
you
them.
like to keep tabs on them, all right?
But
you like to keep an eye on them, all right? You like a real close fucking eye,
just one eye,
a real. And you like to really keep track of what's going on.
I like to think that anybody that I spent that amount of time with in earlier years, that I might still have something in common with them, and that we might still be friends on some level. So I don't like the idea that we might just completely 100% cold turkey part ways.
Obviously, I'm saying.
But that being said, I would also completely understand if my ex-girlfriend, who has a kid with her husband, and they've just sold their first house and bought their second one, I would be like, if she deleted me, I wouldn't be like, oh no. Oh, what a shock. I'd be like, well, yeah, fair call. You don't need my shit posting up in your newsfeed every day.
Well, I would understand that if it was not the 2-year later decommission. For me, that's what I am like. So you wanted to know stuff about me.
No,
for 2
she tolerated
years.
you. She tolerated you for 2 years after you break up. She didn't want to know anything about you. She tolerated you for 2 years, and eventually she reached her limit, where she was like, you know what, I'm sick of seeing this
mass
fucking guy's face popping up in here. He's a thing of my past, and he really is offering me nothing to my current existence.
But the thing is, I've got pretty witty Facebook status updates. That's I really feel
we all do, mate.
I really feel like I'm contributing some witty statuses to her life.
Yeah.
And she's just, guess what? You just missing out on all the funny stuff I'm going to write from now on. Thank you very much.
No, okay, look.
Thank you very much.
Oh, look, final parting piece of advice on that, mate. Final piece of parting advice on that. Okay? When it comes to girlfriends, do not stick your head above the parapet, my friend. Just don't make waves. Don't talk about ex-girlfriends at all when there are current girlfriends involved. And when it comes to ex-girlfriends, well, just don't talk to them about them either. Don't even talk to them if you can avoid it. Even if you're single, like, what good can possibly come of it? Just lurk in the shadows.
Well,
okay?
That's the thing. I was happily lurking in the shadows.
But no, you need to continue lurking in the shadows, and do not confront her should you bump into her.
I'm going to confront her. I've got to find out. I've got to know why. I just got to know the reasons. And look, I'm sure that realistically, she's like, well, look, we're not actual friends. We don't hang out. And I got sick of you, like, I'm a mopey filmmaker. Boo-hoo, my filmmaking career. Ooh, I make fun of myself a little bit. Statuses. I got sick of those, and I didn't really need to see any of that. And in which case, okay, I would say, look, I guess I understand, but I need to hear that from the horse's mouth.
All right. Don't call her a horse.
It's an
They don't like that either. The women don't like that.
It's an expression, Harley. It's an expression.
All right. Well, look, we sincerely need to go now. It's very late. We are so happy that you guys listened. So sorry about the delay. We'll be back as soon as we possibly can. And support us in all those ways that we told you about. And give us 5 stars on iTunes as well. And we will be back very soon. And I do actually have other stories and other exciting things. I acted in other things. I did other things. But we'll get to that.
You did a lot of stuff.
I did a lot of things. And an hour 40 is just not enough to get through it all, evidently. So yes, we will be in touch and see you next week.
See you later.
You've been listening to the Guy and Harley podcast, proudly brought to you by Pigville Productions.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.